As I was spending time in prayer on Friday night, I couldn't help but reflect on how the next day was going to be February 1st. And as I was thinking about February, I remembered how the U.S. World and News Report stated that 80% of New Year's resolutions come to an end in mid-February, fail by mid-February. And thinking about how I wanted to be in the 20% that kept my resolutions, I did a very humble evaluation of how was I doing in this resolution process. How was I doing as a resolution keeper? I came to the realization that with some of my resolutions, I'm doing really good and making some great progress. And some of my resolutions, not so much. But overall, I'm kind of happy of where I am at in this process, that I have continued to become, through this process, a better person. Because my resolution was very much to set up in my life ways that I could be happy, healthy, and holy. Happy, healthy, and holy. So if you think about your life, even if you haven't set up an actual New Year's resolution for this year, could you at least agree with me that it wouldn't hurt to strive to be happy, healthy, and holy? To put things in place so that you will be happier, healthier, and holier as we continue to grow and to learn. Because as I was doing the evaluations, I came to recognize that I don't only learn from my successes. I also learn from my failures. I guess that's called wisdom. To learn by where I am not making progress in this process. But for this to happen, for me to be able to continue to be a resolution keeper, I find that it helps in this process is if I make this process measurable. I would like you to keep this image in mind as you continue in your journey to be a resolution keeper. Measurable. Whatever you are striving to do, if you are trying to be happy, healthy, and holy, make it so you can evaluate how you're doing in the process. It helps to know and measure where you are being successful and where you might need a bit more effort or work or need to continue in the process. You see, what I love is in today's gospel, we have examples of two people who had made some very important resolutions. You see, both of them had grown up their whole life hearing from the prophet Malachi chapter 3 verse 1, "Suddenly there will come to the temple the Lord whom you seek, and the messenger of the covenant whom you desire. Yes, he is coming, says the Lord of hosts." Both Simeon and Anna grew up hearing this message over and over again. And so Simeon, I love Simeon's resolution. He resolved not to die until he saw the Messiah. Now that's a pretty ambitious resolution if you think about it. And so he was coming to the temple. Why? Because the prophet Malachi says That's where he's going to come. And how was the success of his resolution measured? Because of his habit of coming to the temple, he encountered the Messiah. I love that great prayer. He said, okay, God, you can let me die now. Well, he didn't put it exactly like that, but let your servant go in peace. That's another way of putting it. His resolution was measurable. And then we have Anna. She heard this. Suddenly there will come to the temple the Lord whom you seek, and the messenger of the covenant whom you desire. Yes, he is coming, says the Lord of hosts. And so it says in today's gospel, where did Anna spend all her time? Day and night she spent it in the temple. And what I love is what's very unique in this passage is it even tells us how old she is, which is a very dangerous thing to do with women. They like staying about 30 years of age. But I found once they hit the 80s, they don't mind if you share their age. So I think Anna was okay that, okay, let's tell the whole world for all time that Anna was 84 years of age. But it also told some other facts, didn't it? So she was married to her husband 7 years before she became a widow. So let's say she got married, 18. So that meant after her husband died, how many years did she spend in the temple waiting for her resolution to be fulfilled? The math is about 60. She spent about 60 years in the temple waiting for the Messiah. And we hear in the Gospel of Luke chapter 2, verse 38, coming forward at that very time, Anna gave thanks to God and spoke about the child to all who are awaiting the redemption of Jerusalem. Her resolution was fulfilled. Why? Because she was faithful in staying in the temple for 60 years. And so I'm not going to beat myself up too much that I haven't fulfilled all my resolutions by the end of January yet. That's only been a month, okay? I got a bit more time. In fact, the reality is some of the resolutions might even go a little longer than January and February. In fact, they might even go a little longer than 2025, and that wouldn't be a bad thing if you think about it. I mean, we all know what Father David's resolution is, don't we? He is striving to be more loving. Isn't that a beautiful resolution? But I'm sure he's not striving to be more loving just for the year 2025, and then when it turns 2026, he's going to give up on the whole loving thing. That's it. I did it for a year. I'm done. His daughter is like, he better keep it going. And so, 60 years. But what kept her going that 60 years? What did she spend her time in the temple doing? Praying and fasting. That's the key for us to be able to move forward in this process and be more successful in this process is if we spend this time not just trying to do it with our own strength, but to spend this time in prayer and fasting. Because in the second reading from the letter to Hebrews chapter 2 verse 18 it says, because he himself was tested through what he suffered, he is able to help those who are being tested. When our resolutions are being put to the test, when we're struggling with being happy, when we're struggling with being healthy, when we're just struggling with being holy, we're being put to the test. But Jesus became fully human. He became one of us. He knows what it is like to be tested. And so we can turn to him. As it says very clearly, he is able to help those who are being tested. The Lord can help us through this process as we grow to be healthy, happy, and holy. So, how are you doing in your journey, your process? And I'm not looking for a quick answer of, I'm okay or I failed, but just spend the time in an honest evaluation. Where are you at this process? Where are you being successful? Where are you failing? And now, how can the Lord help you to move forward? So as we continue as resolution keepers, we will all in some way grow happier, healthier, and holier.